The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. I'm here in St. Louis with Taylor McGraw again. Hello. You're in a fetching blazer.
Fetching. It's the only one I had at my mom's house.
It looks good. Why were you at your mom's house?
Watching a cat.
Oh, I just picture
Staring
you just
at
looking at it.
I do. She's very stare-at-able.
Wait, so watching a cat, though, is like low maintenance.
It's nothing, yeah. She wants me to stay there, though, because the cat was pissing on the rug. She stopped, and she thinks if someone doesn't spend the night there, the cat will begin pissing on the rug again. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
It makes that's
the
not
cat's
why
rebelling.
It began in the first place, but she really wants me to
those
stay
two.
there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Are you getting paid?
No. One time she gave me a little money, but
You're just doing it out of the kindness
She
of
got
your
a
heart?
blazer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is that your mom's?
This blazer?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow, so I had it there.
Got it. Okay.
It's a little
Brian
hot,
Frangie
though,
is
to
also
be
here.
honest.
Yeah, I'm blazerless.
Yeah. What is that shirt? It says "Since I Left You." What band is that?
The Avalanches.
Since you've
It's
been
an
gone.
Australian. They did "Since You've Been Gone." They did all the songs that start with "since," which I think is only two.
Since I fell in love with you.
Yeah, I don't.
No, that's just if I fell.
Since
No, there's only
Since
two
you-
senses. I think it's something that the America's been talking about for decades. That there's not enough.
Yeah, and they played it on a synthesizer.
Yes.
Cool joke. Noah's here too. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling sore. I've started doing. So I have. I'm taping something on December 16th. That I want to look snatched for. And by the way, I've been using the word snatched way
Hell
more
yeah.
than anyone wants to hear it.
like you got snatched up.
No, like you look
I
snatched.
thought it was your
like
wig
it's a
was snatched.
Okay, can I just say what I think it means?
Yeah,
but I don't know that if it's
Yeah.
true. Like it's definitely a Gen Z word that was retired 8 to 10 months ago. So
Or
it was like
years.
Oh.
no,
3 years.
it was like a cool way to say like, oh, she looks snatched. Like
Oh.
it just means you
Oh.
look like. I like the word. It makes me feel like your skin is pulled back, like you're tight, like you're
Yes.
You pulled
like
your
someone's
ponytail.
snatching your skin from
Something's
behind.
something's grabbing
Yeah,
you
your
from
ponytail
behind.
is snatched from
and
behind.
then you look like this.
yeah.
So beautiful.
So I just
Well,
want to look snatched.
It's a millennial word for vagina, like someone's
Oh,
snatched.
snatch. You're
Yeah.
snatched. Okay.
So you
But
can.
what is the Gen Z term definition?
I have.
Well, I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm
No, I don't have it.
dueling your
Okay,
Okay, here we go.
Ding, 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 ding.
You get it, Brian.
Who's gonna snatch
The
the
number
right
one definition on Urban Dictionary is vagina. The scent
Oh.
of her snatch elevated his heart rate.
Look up
They don't need
Snatched.
to. Why do they? Why
to
is that
use
the
it in a
sentence?
The number
Use
two.
it in the most disgusting, visceral sentence possible. The smell of her elevated his heart
Saturated
rate.
snatch.
And I like that anyone looking that up has to look up the word elevate too. Probably.
They're like
That's
elevate.
elevator. Wait, whoa, those are connected.
Ah.
Man.
Okay, wait a second.
The
So,
mind.
what's if someone's saying like you look snatched? Like it looks like someone would kidnap you.
ED.
Maybe.
Her snatch looked like a
No,
No, I
bear
have
trap.
not as a
snatched.
noun.
I have snatched
adjective.
if you want it.
Okay, thank you. What is it?
Okay. Used to take the place of on fleek, perfect, on point, or
Yes.
fashionable.
Oh, okay.
Fashionable. Yeah,
Oh.
snatched.
But what about 8 Up, which is what one of my students said I was, and I said that's not good.
Oh,
That's
no.
not good.
You
No,
look
she
ate up?
said
No, you-
it
oh,
is
no, no, no.
now good.
It's good. You ate that.
Yes.
If they say, "Oh, she ate," like people always are saying that about Taylor Swift, like she ate this look.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
said if they saw me on Instagram, they would put flame, 8-ball flame. That's how my
Oh.
outfit looked.
Ah.
It's
Okay,
like, what?
I've
like
seen
I
that.
said 8 Up
Brian
means you
Frangie
did drugs.
ate that bagel.
Use it in a
No,
sentence if
no.
you
No, that's
can.
wrong.
It's going to be difficult.
The pussy fumes coming off. I'm just trying to make it a disgusting. The snatch fumes coming off from below her skirt through her moist panties made everyone say, "Wow, she ate." I'm just trying to make the most visceral.
I thought it was like 8 out of 10, or when we were in school,
Oh.
8 Up meant
No, it's
you did
ATE.
so many drugs. That's 8 Up.
Oh,
Remember?
Well, if someone's rode
Remember,
hard and
guys?
put away wet, it's kind of like the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. But,
What-
or no, because that's like you just look like crap. 8 Up as you did so many drugs that you're like stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ate
I
up.
don't remember
Your
that.
brain is ate up by acid,
Oh.
usually.
Okay, well that makes sense. Like literally, like it's eaten.
There's holes
Yes.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But if someone says I look like I ate, it's usually looks like she's been overeating.
Yeah, I don't like that. I hate it. I would rather be snatched. Although I thought like you were snatched when your wig was snatched off. Like I thought that was like a drag
wig is
queen
another thing. That
Well, wigging
the-
out. That's like millennials again.
No,
You're just
wig
trying
is
to bring
like
it back to the 90s. So
Well,
hard.
what are they doing?
Well, what about
What is
wigging?
Gen Z doing? They're just repeating the words
I
that we
swear
had
to
and
God.
redefining them?
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, look up wig for like drag culture when something's wig. I swear to God, that's a term that they use.
A
A
Like,
wig
it's-
is a political party from the 1700s.
yeah.
Powdered hair.
But I'm
but
trying to
on the head
look
of a judge.
Snatched for December 16th. And so I refuse to eat any differently because it's the only thing that I get joy out of in my life right now is eating. And I refuse to really work out any harder, except I'm just doing Pilates 4 days a week. And then I'm going to work out
That's
as many
hard.
days a week as I can.
Mm.
Pilates?
It doesn't
sucks.
seem that hard.
Pilates.
Dude, it sucks.
Hardest
Like
of all the
calisthenically.
exercises.
I really
It
think it
has to
is
be.
because shout out to Kirsten who teaches Pilates and does it perfectly.
And
Hala.
I can't even believe anyone could. And Hala.
Hala.
Oh yeah, Hala's listening. I can't believe two of my friends have chosen this as a life career. It is
Who would have thought?
so difficult.
Yeah.
I know that I've talked about it before, and I was like, I like it because the routine switches up. I said to Chris last night, I'm like, I can't believe anyone would try this and go, this is what I want to do forever. Because at what point does your body remember to do 18 things at the same time? Like when you're going to see a trainer, like a regular trainer, and they're like, do squats. Like there's a little bit like you have to like have good back posture. Like there's like 3 things you have to have in mind to have like a good form. Pilates, there's literally 18 things all at once. You have to be a fighter pilot in terms of switching things on and off, and everything feels awkward.
Funny.
Nothing makes me go, oh yeah, this is locked in. This is how my body should feel.
Yeah.
Every time my hips are aligned and they're like, this is how your hips should be. I'm like, I feel like I'm playing Twister right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm twisted and my hand is on yellow and my foot is on the other yellow. Like it feels so contorted. And then you have to hold that. And yesterday I almost started crying because I'm so frustrated in my own personal life, but also it was all coming out. I went to therapy and I like kind of released
Oh,
the valve
no,
a little
no,
bit
no. Oh,
at
good.
like at 2.
Good.
Yeah.
And I cried a little bit and I grabbed for this box of Kleenex, which by the way,
And you
I know my
crushed it with your
therapist.
Pilates.
Yeah,
face.
I snatched it. I know that therapists are supposed to be supportive when you start crying. Please, and my therapist isn't watching. That's what I love about her. She literally did not know what a roast was. Like when I was like, I'm kind of known for the roast. Like I was trying to contextualize something about how people expect things of me and then I disappoint them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm known for the roast. And she's like, so a cooking show? Like she had, and I go, no, they're like, there's like a bunch of comedians and they
A
like say
roast is
negative
when like
things.
a rancid vagina is emanating.
Yeah. And
Rancid
people make
snatch.
jokes about that rancid
Yeah.
vagina.
It smells so bad you have to joke.
Yeah.
There's no other recourse.
She really didn't know what that was. And I was like, I like this because she's never going to like Google me. There's
Mhm.
I would
literally,
hate
I'm not
that,
kidding
though.
you. I walk into her waiting room yesterday and there's St. Louis Magazine sitting on the table and it's me looking at me in the waiting room.
Can you snatch it? Because I don't have one.
Oh, snatch that.
I don't think I can because if that would be really wrong to get caught stealing at your therapist's office. That would be
Yeah.
like
no, it would be something to talk about.
no,
to,
because
like,
I don't have a
bring
problem
up.
that you have a problem, and I would have to talk about the fact
have to
that
talk
I
about your shame
I
of
did
your
this-
friend.
Yeah, that I did this thing for you, even though you stole a lot of things from me back in the day. And
Yeah,
I do
you got
owe
to pay me back.
Yeah, I would just go
With
into a
your
store
own
and go,
picture.
Taylor, I like this necklace. And she'd go, cool. And then I would put it back on the rack. And then I would walk out into the mall and Taylor would just pull it out of her pocket and hand it to me. And I'd be like, thank you. And then I didn't have to do it.
Quick draw McGraw.
But that magazine is sitting
you gotta
there.
steal it. You gotta steal it.
And
You
I
gotta
also-
generate material. You gotta go in there and do an hour every week.
Ugh,
That's
but I
what I'm
don't
saying.
need material. I don't need someone
you need
else's
new material.
no, reading
Therapists love
material
having
perhaps,
material.
but I don't need this magazine in my life. So I saw it and I pointed to it. This is weeks ago when I first saw it. But yesterday it's still there. It's been there like 2 months. And I saw it 2 months ago, I guess, is when I first saw it. And I pointed it out to her. I was like, that's me. Because she came out to get me and she was just like, oh, like didn't care at all, which I kind of respect. To not even be
There's
like,
no way she
wow.
didn't care.
Let me give you, say
You
that's
should-
me.
you
I'll do
should-
what she said.
You should sign it
Look,
for
it's
her.
me right here.
Oh, really? okay. Like literally
Oh my
just like,
God.
That's a move.
She's doing
no,
something.
it's not. She really, no,
Really?
I swear.
How old
I
is she?
swear.
I don't know. I have therapist
Listen,
training. That's a move.
I would have this woman's number if I thought like I'm down for a therapist being a little sneaky and like trying to put me down and like make me not feel so important. I've had that therapist before. This one is just doesn't care about pop culture.
So what does she
or,
care
like,
about? Bugs?
She cares about feeling your feelings in your body.
But what does she do when she goes
Tracing
home?
where the feelings are going.
So she just
She has
goes home and
kids.
sits. Oh, she has kids. So
Yeah, but she let me go
She's-
buck wild yesterday. I was
Oh, shit.
cussing. Like I can tell she's like a very, like she's not prim and proper necessarily, but I don't think she's like dropping F-bombs a lot.
How old is she?
She's probably 49 to
Okay.
8, 7, 6, something in late 40s. And so yesterday I was really accessing my anger, which apparently is a very good thing for me because it lights me up and I feel invincible. And I mean, I can think most people feel that way when they're angry. Don't you feel
It's
like
very good for you. Yeah.
I love it when
It's
I'm like
amazing.
done and I'm like, you know what? And fuck this shit, man. And I like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm no more, there's no more confident version of myself.
Yeah.
There's like, that's why my best joke from my last special was about old souls.
That
I was like,
yeah.
because they're old
Stop
souls.
it!
Like, because I got
Leave
angry
her
and I was
alone.
actually angry for that bit. And so when I'm angry,
was
it
the
like
funniest
really
of all.
does, like, it charges me up. It makes me feel like, gives me self-esteem to be angry. Because I think it like overrides every other feeling you have because it's such an intense feeling and I don't let it in much. But so I was talking, this is what I want from her. And she's not listening, but if any therapists are listening, because I think we do have a lot of therapists listening. I don't know about you guys. Noah, you see a therapist regularly. Brian, I don't think you do anymore. Taylor, you are one, or you have been one. When your client starts crying and there's a tissue box across the room that they are aware is there, will you please not grab it for me? Will you just like let
ugh.
my tears fall? Because sometimes I think tissues, I know they're really just to wipe it up so you don't like have tears running down your face and like all over your clothes. And it's just cleaning up a mess. But I think it is it's another way of being like, what you're doing is embarrassing and you need to clean up this mess.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed to sit in the tears. If I get to the point where I'm crying, I don't want a man, for me, crying is coming and it's hard to do. Don't throw a towel at me to clean up my squirt as soon as I don't go like, oh God, and put on your fucking, medical goggles or whatever. Like, don't shame me. She's not meaning to do it. She's being helpful.
It's a power
But I would
move.
suggest to I don't think she's not that kind
It's
of
a
therapist.
power
She's like,
move. You're
when I leave
vulnerable,
her,
and I
I
have
think
the
it's-
solution to your problem.
no, she's
It's like
just trying to be nice, and
embarrassment
every
for you.
therapist has
I don't like
ever
it.
done it. But it's letting me know that something is wrong. Like she's uncomfortable. She wants it cleaned
She's
up.
embarrassed
But
for
she's
you.
not
She's like,
doing that. She really, all she wants, every time I even get close to crying, she goes, what is that? What's going on? And then I go,
Oh, I hate that.
And I like that because she like
hate
acknowledges that there's something I'm like damming up. And then I release the dams. And then she wants me to blot it. Noah, do you like a helpful, like, here's some tissues? Or how do you feel? Like, what's the response you like when you cry in therapy?
Well, I've been seeing my therapist remote for a couple of years now. But
Yeah, she like Amazons you some tissues. They
Yeah, you
arrive
start
before your
crying.
session's over.
yeah,
She
no,
just,
but
like, writes
she's very
tissue.
empathetic when I start crying. She's, she's not like a straight face. Like, her eyebrows kind of like go down a little bit and she like
Oh,
feels
Yeah.
God.
for me.
Right.
Oh.
That's so nice. That's what
How
I
does she do
think
that?
I like.
Huh? What would you say?
How does she-
Eyebrows go down?
Eyebrows go down?
How does
On
she
the
show an
outside?
expression on her face of sadness?
Like this.
Yeah, like
And
the
expressionless?
outer parts of
Well-
her eyebrows kind of like bend down where it's like,
Brian, look at your chart. Look at the face chart that the doctor printed up for you.
Okay.
Now look at
Is it under?
Kitty.
Oh, Kitty. Oh, that's on the back. That's why. I don't know, Kitty.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like she does house. Like, like her eyebrows become a thatched roof where
Yeah.
they like are.
But when I
in
was
the
in
middle,
her
they meet at the
office,
top.
They're
Like
like a
this?
bungalow.
But when you were
when
at her
I was in her
office,
office,
No,
she
that's a
would
shed.
she would give me the tissue box, but she would just put it on like on the table and not give it to
mine
me.
is like literally throwing them at me and they flutter down. Like it's so immediate that I next time I'm just gonna grab the thing when I get in there so that she doesn't have to like. I don't like when people, because I'm uncomfortable with crying because I feel like I'm just burdening people and that everyone goes, oh God, I'm not gonna be able to leave anytime soon. Like if after this podcast, Taylor, I was like, everything is wrong. Like if you had an appointment, you'd have to like quietly text them like, I'm going to run late. Like you can't just leave me if I'm crying. Like that's a crazy thing to do for a friend. So I feel like when someone cries around me, I guess I'm projecting is that I feel, oh no, this is going to be a whole to do. Like I can't. So then I don't like to feel that way. I don't like to put anyone else in that position. I'm always like thinking like, oh, how's this going to make that person feel? But at the same time, she has a time limit like on her.
Yeah.
Like we have a time
And
limit.
she's getting paid, so you know.
That's true. But the weird part is, so I leave her office and I squirted out a little tears, like not full blown sobbing.
Yeah.
And then I had Pilates. So that was at 2:00. And then I had Pilates at 5:30. I went for a run beforehand because I'm trying to like get cardio and I hate anyone talking about trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to look.
Snatched.
Say it with me now. Snatched. And that just means like I don't want there to be a little like run over my back like thing.
You want it to be like
My
somebody
shoulder
snatched
blade.
your tail and snatched your ponytail and then hung you upside down. So you're
I
taut.
just don't want to have to stand in a way that my arm fat won't come over. Even though arm fat is it's not bad and having back fat is fine and it doesn't make me less funny or whatever. But there's a dress I want to wear, and to wear it properly, I got to look snatched. So I went to Pilates at 5:30, and there was like a group exercise. Like, I'm sure these girls are listening because I think maybe they recognize me. But there's like a group of girls, and I picture anyone who does Pilates regularly and wears like a matching nude set that has like a cute bra, and it's like a mauve color with a matching high-waisted, like tight,
matching scrunchie
matching, and like a fun ball cap and like perfectly white nude trainers, but like a matching nude set. We all know it. From like, some company called like Gypsy and Wine, or like, like it's like some Instagram
Gypsy and me
brand. And they're definitely going to make an ad for it someday where they're like, these are all Instagram ads. I'm honestly pissed off that this exists because Gypsy and Wine before Gypsy and Wine, I had so many clothes, and now this is all I wear. I'm literally angry with Gypsy and Wine. Like that's the new angle of these ads, is that they're like mad at the company they're promoting because they don't wear anything else, and it's reversible and it looks so cute, and they're always size -1800, and they're always like, and I don't ever feel big, and it's like, why would you ever feel big? You're so tiny. So these girls were all doing their group workout, which is fine. It's like they were a class, but and I was doing my like individual session over across the room, and another woman was doing her individual session. And this woman, she got there a minute later than me, and they're doing the same exercises for us. So like, I see her like catching up, and I'm like, no, I should be ahead of her but I'm slow, and they have more springs on the board than her. So she's like obviously more fit than me, and I'm feeling ultra competitive with her, but she's not even looking at me. And I loved it. Like she was not, I can tell when someone's competing with me. This girl did not give a fuck, and I liked it. Okay. She was like married. I could tell she was maybe like a mom. Like I just like admired this woman who is my age and wasn't comparing herself to me at all. I was like, this is a strong bitch. And we're like literally on reformers next to each other with different trainers doing the same exercises 30 seconds differently. And then there's this class going on over there. They finish a half hour before they started a half hour early. So they're done a half hour into ours. And then they just hang out at the front, and they're like talking like you do after a class. And they're like friends. They're 3 girlfriends. And they're adorable, and I'm just, I'm doing that voice because I'm like jealous of them. And anyone who I'm jealous of, I like do this voice. And so they're like hanging out afterwards and sipping water. And this one girl like just kind of was like, she was just like staring at, like, I'm literally as close as I am to you right now, 3-4 feet. And I'm on the reformer doing like a hard exercise where I'm like shaking. And she's like, now your inner thigh. And I'm like, I don't feel anything on my inner thigh. Like I'm not saying that, but I'm like, I don't feel anything. And I'm having to do this weird thing where you just like move your leg a little bit and then snap back. Kirsten's probably like, I know exactly what that's called. But, and it's so hard. And she's looking at me, and at the end of your day when you're super tired, you have no defenses for being a complete cunt.
Yes.
Like,
don't I ever?
None. I had none. I literally looked at this girl, and this is not a joke of what I did, and we're this close, and I'm like this. So look me up and down, and then meet my eyes. I went like this. If you
The
can't see
stare
it,
wiggle.
you just go, you get your eyes really big and you go like, what are you looking at? Kind of
Oh,
face
yeah.
like, ugh.
And you wiggle
Like,
your head really fast.
Yeah, wiggle your head. And
I do it every day in the car. What
and
do
I
you
felt
want me to
bad
cut?
because I told Chris about it later and he was like, she could have just been tired after her class. You know when you're tired, you're just kind of like
Just like
staring.
have a
and
seizure.
you don't know. Like one time I was staring at Casey Mulchler's boobs after geometry class. And I think it was like they were impressive, but I was just kind of zoning out. And who was that? What was that guy's name? Fuck, I know you know his name. Fuck, I can't even remember. It's like he was on
everyone's
the water
name.
polo team. He was kind of like a little twerp. Anyway, he was like, Nikki, why don't you take a picture? And like all these boys caught me staring at Casey Mulchler's boobs, and I felt like I was gay and that they caught me being gay. So I felt like this girl might have done that. And so I owe her an apology if you're listening. I'm sorry I got a rude face with you. I was at the end of the day and I felt like you were judging me because I was probably judging you. And so I was just doing the same thing onto you. But there was a little part of me that was proud of like doing something confrontational because I rarely do that. I'm usually just confrontational through like your car.
Yeah.
And you can just zip away.
Yeah.
But like
Protection
in
of
a
the
place when they're like within, I was like, what do you want? And that
Yeah,
felt
come at
kind
me,
of
bitch.
crazy. It feels good to feel crazy sometimes.
It
like one of
does.
those
Yeah, why
people.
not?
I love it.
And it wasn't against an employee, which I'm always like really
Oh, yeah.
grossed out when people
I
get
hate-
like that. Like
Yeah,
it was just
sometimes I
another
accidentally
person
do that. And
Mhm.
I go
against an employee. I mean, I've done it too, where I always have to go, I know this isn't your
sorry.
fault.
Yeah.
I have to
I'm
like,
not
I
mad
know
at
this is the
you.
CEO's problem. They're not giving enough money. They're taking too many Christmas bonuses.
Been here
and this
12
is-
times, and this has happened every time.
Yes.
It's not your fault.
Yes. But on the 12th day of Christmas,
I fucking snapped my load.
Snatched. All right, we'll be back with more show after this. All right, we're back. So I said that I would get to this yesterday. I was doing a meet and greet after the show in San Diego, I think this was. Yeah. And one of our besties is there. I don't remember his name. He was adorable. And I think he was alone, which is cool. But he told me that he flew from DC to San Diego. I don't know if it was to see my show, but he was either visiting there, but he arrived that day. And he said it was almost kismet because he was on the plane and he heard someone going like, and look at the truck and look at the plane. That's a plane. And those are the wings. And that's a man with, what color of those things he's waving? Orange. And and it was behind him and he was kind of like, ugh, okay. I remember Nikki complaining about this. Like, we get it. You're a good mom.
Yeah.
Everyone on the plane has to know that you are just really zoned
Your
in on your kid and your
is
kid is just getting the
so
best
smart.
education, homeschool queen, plain school queen. And then he was getting off the plane and this woman was talking to her dog.
Oh.
And this is a new level,
That's
dude.
not true.
Yes, he was
Orange?
100% true.
The dog needed to
I'm
know-
making up those
Oh, okay.
things. He was saying that she was narrating the, airfield.
Oh, I
And the
thought you were going to
tarmac.
say it to her like disabled son or something.
I mean, that would be sweet. I mean, yeah, even
That would
when they
be-
do it to
I would feel
kids,
bad.
It's fine, but does it have to be so loud? Don't kids have amazing hearing?
Yes.
Can't we whisper?
You
to
sure
kids?
can't. No, they definitely want you
They
to know
always have
you're a
to
good
let
mom.
you know I'm a really involved parent.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her shirt. Is that Taylor Swift? Look at the stars on her necklace match the stars on her shirt. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to say.
You don't have
when
to
I
talk
go-
like that either. Like, you don't have to talk like you're Blippy.
Yeah.
They can understand
I started, yeah.
human
That's going to make the child
conversation.
not be good.
Yes.
I don't think.
I started, that actual conversation, the stars on her shirt matched the stars on her necklace happened on my Taylor Swift shirt in the morning on San Diego on Sunday when I was leaving the hotel. And this little girl, she must have been like 3 or 4, was just like, what's that? And she was talking about my guitar and she pointed at it and her mom goes, that's a guitar. And I said, that's a guitar. And she was really cute. She had glasses, which always makes kids amplify. Like their eyes are like 14 times bigger with those big. Why do kids' glasses always make like they don't look like normal glasses? They always make their eyes look really big.
Because they're like,
They're, like,
farsighted.
blind.
No,
Oh.
because Collins make his eyes look small, but some people make
Your
them
boyfriend.
look big. Yeah,
Colin is your boyfriend.
that's what I'm
Colin is a
about.
And but anyway, she had those big, cute eyes because she had those big, thick glasses on. She's
Mhm.
like, "What is that?" And then her mom goes, and I bet she's really good at it. And I go, I'm not. And I just like cut it, like, because I'm just like, I don't want to
So
lie to
weird.
this kid. And like, also, I'm not. And that's okay. And I go, I'm not. And I go, but that's why I practice very hard, because if I practice a lot, then I had to like make it a lesson. But like, don't put you're very good at it on me. I know she was trying to be nice, and she probably thought I was a professional, because everyone does when I'm traveling with a guitar.
Yeah.
And I always just say I'm a hobbyist and that I suck and I just do it for fun. And then I was getting on the plane. This guy goes, "What model is your tailor?" And I had to take out my fucking air. And I go, "What? What model is your tailor?" I go, "I don't know." What? Like, I am walking down the aisle. I understand if you say that at the gate and you're trying to spark up a conversation and flirt with a girl. I'm walking by. There's like no, and I know he was just an old man trying to connect on guitars.
707.3.
I just
yeah.
said it's a baby tailor. I don't know. It's just the kind you can travel with. I wouldn't know the model of my car if I had a car. I don't know the model of my car. I do have a car. I have my mom's car, and
You didn't even know you had a car.
I know the make of it. The make is a Lexus, right? That's what the make is, and then the model. It's a bunch of letters and numbers that I would be wasting my time memorizing. Chris knows
GLS. I made that up, I think.
Chris knows every model of every car, and because he cares. I don't understand remembering, and because I was like, I saw this Mercedes I really liked. It was like boxy, but in the front it was kind of round. He's like, "Oh yeah, the CS24 HL. Oh, and I think that's the DS version." And I'm like, how would you remember all this random? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Although I do think I want to get a Mercedes GLA.
Oh, I love
So
the GLA.
I can put SER at the end of it, because I think that's cool. I would literally get a car just for that reason. Or
They're
like
good looking cars.
yeah, they are. I do miss
GLA.
having. I was driving
Definitely
a
cooler than a
Mercedes
custom plate.
during. Custom plates. I think I would do it though,
What would you
even
do?
though it's
Called-
begging for attention.
I
It's a
wouldn't.
vanity plate. That's what they're called.
Oh.
Vanity.
Yeah, and you're
'Cause
right.
you're
For your
vain.
van.
Yes, and
Yeah.
vanity should be the name of it, because you went the extra mile. You paid, and you
Like
like went to the
$100,
DMV, and you
I
like
You tried a few
You
different
have this
combinations.
thing.
I don't think
Yes.
I've ever
You
seen
put a
Although-
4 instead of an A, and you put a
I saw
Z
the
instead of an
best one
S.
ever.
What was it?
It said demon. Not demon one. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I hope there's not a lot of Missouri listeners, but it wasn't a Missouri plate, so I'm going to try to get it.
Okay.
Demon.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, do you think people are gonna beat you to demon? You're gonna try to
Yeah.
get demon.
I want demon, baby.
Why?
Because I am one.
You know what? Do you ever send an email or it was back in the day, and it would go to the wrong person? Who would write you
Mailer
back?
demon.
Mailer demon. I always
Demon.
just picture this little
He's
like devilish, like little scamp, being like, "That's not the right email address. I'm gonna send you a notice from Mailer Demon."
He like returns it to your mailbox.
Demon.
Scamps.
Little scamp. I like Mailer Demon. Always made me laugh so hard.
Imp.
I would get a vanity plate, but actually I wouldn't, because it's too much effort. But I don't think they're not fun. When people have them, I'm
Sometimes
not
they're
like,
fun.
"Kuh." I actually think they are cool. I just don't know that I would do it.
They can be cool.
I think bumper stickers aren't kuh either.
High
I like
kit
them.
probability.
I think you are risking getting your car keyed. You're risking being like everyone thinking you're lame. I think actually having bumper stickers is cool, because you're risking doing a thing where almost everyone thinks it's lame when you have bumper stickers.
unless you have a really good one.
Like
There are
BNL.
some.
Remember when Huffy in high school had BNL? Remember those ones that are just like
What?
3 letters? It'll be like Adirondacks.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be like ADR
X
cakes. Yes.
or something.
Or like DMB.
OBX.
And it was like a cool like white hat thing to do. Speaking
Yeah.
of yesterday's white hat thing.
It's
But
whiteys.
Huffy had BNL for Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh my
And
god.
who I argue are a great band. I heard Chris's show talking shit about. Well, Chris was talking shit about it on his show today, and I was
Ooh,
like,
it's gonna be trouble when he gets
"You
home.
can't tell me that Brian Wilson is a bad song, and you can't tell me that My Old Apartment is a bad song, and you can't tell me that You're a Good Boy is a bad song, because you're a bad boy if you think so." But okay, so what I will say about there was a vanity plate once in LA, and I'm not joking you. It said something like to the effect, it's maybe not the exact thing. I tried to get a picture of it, but he was driving too fast because he was cool. He was really cool. But at first I thought, because his license plate said "I don't care." Like it was just
Hell
like
yeah.
it was like it was something like IDONCRE or like it was that would be I don't see her. I don't see her tuna.
coming.
Yeah, but it was I don't care. It was very clearly that. However, he wrote it, and at first I did think.
What if it's I don't care? IDONCR, I don't care.
I think it could have been something like that, but it was truly his vibe was I don't care. And his car wasn't that cool. Like it was just like it was probably like a Subaru.
Yeah, but if
like,
you're doing a vanity plate that says I don't care, that means you do care. If you really didn't
that's
care,
a good point.
Automatically
you would not
care.
make a plate that says that.
But I'm not joking you. This guy, because he had announced that, everyone kind of got out of his way and everyone wanted to be him and was trying to follow him. He ruled the road on the 101. I drove behind him for 20 miles trying to like, and he was out of sight because I was like, oh, at first everyone hates this guy, but then they truly are like, no, I want him to like me. Like we were all trying to keep up with him. He really set the tone because I think that's the thing everyone wants to be is if someone doesn't seem to care, everyone wants their attention.
Yeah, that's true.
And it made me realize that announcing you don't care is akin to not caring.
It's a way to tell yourself you're not going to care. I just thought of a really good one I saw in on the 101 also, and it said, I'm 90. And so I caught up, tried really hard to catch up and look, and they were indeed 90 in there.
That's a good.
Isn't that good? Like,
that's a
don't
good
be
safety
mad at me
thing
if
to
I
do.
drive slow,
Yeah.
maybe.
But also,
Don't honk
that's
at me.
too old to be driving.
Well, they weren't. They were doing a good job.
Isn't that too old?
It
Depends.
depends.
There are some
Voice
people
teacher.
who can do it.
My voice teacher's in his 60s, and he just told me that getting his pilot's license because he let it lapse.
Oh.
If he got it again, it would be very difficult because of his age. Because
Hmm.
they don't want people up there
Flying
possibly
around.
having heart attacks or
Oh,
like
yeah.
just passing
Oh.
out because they stayed up late to watch 60 Minutes the night before or something. So that it would be hard to get. And I go,
60
oh, that makes
minutes.
sense. That would be a sad day. That is getting old fucking blows, dude. When you like
Yeah.
lose. That's why I always say that I hate losing fertility because it's the first thing you lose. It's the
I
first
can't
signal of I know. Well, it's the first signal that like sorry, like you're gonna die before you ever get this again. Like there's nothing else in life that you lose until fertility,
Collagen.
and then things start to go.
You lose collagen.
Collagen, but you still have a little bit, and you can
Mhm.
still you can do things to get
Plump
it.
skin.
And I guess you could adopt and stuff like that. There's still things that give you the aura of like I have fertility, but fertility I think is the first thing taken from you. And men don't have it taken from them, obviously. So I think the first thing that's taken from men
Hair.
is hair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But you can get it
Penis
back.
function,
But you can get it back.
boner ability.
Boner abilities. Which
Yeah,
is
boner.
probably
It's
The
more like the
erectness.
slow degradation that is bothersome to me. Is just like all of a sudden this thing hurts when it used
Your
to not.
penis is degrading.
Yeah, like the penis just keeps like little parts of it hurt.
hurts.
Yeah, and then I go, well, that
I'm
part-
sorry. The vagina
Some
does
of it.
degrade.
It does.
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
It dries out.
It becomes
I
a
think.
snatch.
It's snatched.
It gets
This moisture
unsnatched.
snatched from it.
It gets loose.
Everything degrades.
does?
Everything starts sagging. Everything.
No,
Yeah,
I think
dude.
it becomes tight because it gets
What?
dry.
Oh, you would think. I don't think so.
No?
Mine is, I
I
think, like most
swear
skin
it.
on your face around it gets jowly, is what Anya said. And I'm using that in my set. But mine is definitely, I'm like all worried about getting a brow lift. And I'm like, I got to double do it. I'm going to have something done down there because I see what's happening. Like in most days, it looks
get a brow
great.
lift.
Yeah, I'm going to get a brow lift down there. I'm going to have them lift my brows so much that it pulls up my vagina too. Everything gets lifted. They're gonna have to really snatch it back though. But yeah, I think your vagina. I remember hearing Joan Rivers do a joke about how her vagina fell, and now she looked down one day. She looked down one day and said, "I didn't know I was wearing bunny slippers." And like it's like on her feet, and I never understood that joke. Like I was
I
always just
remember
like,
that,
okay. But now I really get it. I'm like, oh, gravity affects every area, and
Yeah.
if you have like your lips, not really because those lips are so light.
Yeah, they're they're
But
very
like
lightweight.
I'm talking about the outer where it's like the skin
Oh, it starts
area.
stretching?
That's the part that starts to droop. I
and
think
it looks like a bunny. In fact,
it does look like bunny's ears. In fact,
oh no.
yes.
But you
Oh,
can just
no
get them
is right.
snipped, right?
I think, yeah, it would
The
be
outers, 'cause
it
that
would be
wouldn't
an
hurt.
easy-ish surgical procedure, but still a fucking pain in the ass.
It's still annoying. Pain in the vag.
I was talking to Whitney Cummings about getting a brow lift, and she was like, dude, do it because maybe that's what you need to take a break. You know, like the last time I got
Yes.
surgery, I like took a break from work, and
Yes,
she's like, maybe that's the
definitely.
only way that you'll vacation. And I was like, that's actually really smart because I don't do it otherwise. But because I was talking to her, I'm like, when does anyone have time to get this shit done?
That's what I wonder about.
I don't think she's done surgery, but like she gave me the number of some guy that's going to be amazing. So I'm going to get that done at some point, but I almost can't do it before. I'm taping this thing December 16th and it'll probably come out in like March. So I probably have to do it in like July. or
Wait, what
something.
does it do? What?
It'll just make me look like my old self, like just pull back things.
Oh, I thought they were going up. Okay.
No,
They're
it's not
going
going to be like I'm
sideways.
constantly shocked. Like you're constantly telling me you're pregnant. No, it's like I just want it to look
What's the
subtle. Like,
downside of that? Do you lose your ability to make?
surgery. You look like
going
this.
in under anesthesia where you might die.
Do you lose the
I don't
ability to make certain
You might-
expressions?
Yeah, you might not
No.
look the same.
I think
that's
they
what
have.
I think.
No. That doesn't happen
Not for
anymore.
you for that, but
It
some
doesn't
people.
happen anymore.
Oh,
That's
it
old. We all think about surgery, and it's like people either going to shitty doctors.
Oh,
I'm going to go
is
to
that
someone
true?
who has done celebrities, and I know that everyone has that privilege. So I'm sorry if you have to go to a shitty doctor, but you don't have to. There's if you're spending $50,000 on your face already, you're in a find a good person. If you're spending that much money on something, find someone who's done examples of work that you're like, I like that. And that make people look like a younger version of themselves that don't look like a totally different person. If I end up looking like a different person, I'll go with it. I'll run with it. Like, who cares? Is everyone going to be like, we don't love you anymore?
What about Jennifer Grey? Nobody loved her anymore.
That's the example I give in my stand-up. No, that the only reason people didn't love her is because they knew it wasn't that she looked better, to be honest. Like, she looked aesthetically not better, like it's in the eye of the beholder, but most people would argue her
Classically.
face, like classically beautiful, symmetrical, all those things. She looked better post nose job. But the reason she stopped working was because everyone knew she got one, and it's shameful and it's embarrassing. And it's like, ew, like that's really sad. And it was such a shameful thing that we created in the media of like, we know you got a nose job. That's why celebrities get nose jobs whittled down slowly through the years so that you don't notice, because she lost all of her work. And it wasn't because her talent was in her septum. Like, it's like she was still talented. Why
I don't
didn't she
know.
work anymore?
That nose
It was
was
because-
pretty good at
It
acting.
really was because people were like, you're sad. And this is why people like Jennifer Lopez lie about getting plastic surgery, because they know that people will go, oh, you cheated. That's sad. Even though they all fucking do it, but they don't say they do it, because if you say you do it, you get shamed. That's why, people don't respect, people make fun of Kathy Griffin for having work because she's honest about it. People make fun of Joan Rivers for having work because
people
her
make any
face looked
excuse
like,
to make fun of Kathy Griffin. Like, people just don't like Kathy Griffin.
God, they
Yeah.
really don't, man.
But did you
Why
see
is
that Jennifer Grey's nose went on to have a career on Broadway? It was nominated for a Tony. Didn't win though.
I mean, if
She was in
anyone
Grey's
has
Anatomy.
another theory of why she lost work after she got her nose done, I would love to hear it. Like, did she get less talented? Did she look so different that
I
she
thought-
wasn't a leading lady anymore? Like, she arguably did look better.
I thought like her character was gone out of her face, and she just looked like everyone else. When before she had like a
But
striking
Yeah.
look.
Since when is that a problem?
It wasn't
Hollywood?
I think then it might have been. Now, not at all. Now they want everyone to look.
Okay,
the
that's
same.
actually a theory I will accept, but I still think that it was mainly because people were like, you
I
got a
believe it,
nose
yeah.
job, and that is so sad. You're sad.
I've got to
and
go to
then
Pilates. That's the
I've
same
got
thing.
to, yeah. That's like, Pilates is so hard. Wait, have you guys done it ever? Any of you?
Yes,
Yeah, I do it
it's
all the time. It's
crazy.
the hardest exercise.
Wait, how do you? I said to this woman, if you weren't here, there's not a chance I would be doing this at all correctly. I couldn't get
No.
this in so do you have a coach, Brian? Because no one is doing Pilates on their own the correct way. I don't believe, unless you are a Pilates instructor, you're doing the wrong form, because I can work all day to get in the right form and like remember it in my body. Like you were saying about your posture, Kirsten taught you like how to sit
that's
straight.
what people do.
You can't remember Pilates because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't even feel like you're doing anything right.
The muscles go around to support the correct position.
Stop telling me to suck in my ribs to my spine. I don't know what that means. To me, that means just sucking in, and then I have no breath. It doesn't make sense. I don't like Pilates. It angers me. I don't know when this is all just going to click and I'm just going to feel strong everywhere, but I'm going to keep doing it. I'm doing Pilates 4 times a week for the next 5 weeks.
Wow.
That's got to give me something. If I don't see results,
I'm
out.
I'm going to turn to a coach.
But people tell me Pilates changed my body, changed my life. Wait, what did you say?
I said
coach?
you're going to be doing it so much, you're going to turn into a coach.
Yeah, you might.
I mean,
that's what happened to Hala.
Yeah, that's true. It did happen to Hala. I just don't understand ever doing this unless you were getting ready for taping something.
I mean,
I don't, or like your wedding, I guess,
hard.
is people's version of what I'm doing.
I think once you get into the shape, you get into the position, then your muscles form around it, then you know the position, and then once you feel so good, you want other people to feel that good.
Okay.
Is the thing.
I
or
guess.
you've achieved it, and then you can do the things effortlessly, do the like
and then it's just fun and easy.
then it's like you just get an easy workout.
Right. It's
But
like
you have
stand up.
to-
I view it
Or
differently. I feel like
practicing.
your whole day you're putting yourself in the wrong position and your muscles are doing the wrong thing. And
Yes.
Pilates is just slowly trying to correct that, but failing over the course of time. Like you'll never be able to catch up
feels
to your
so
shitty
wrong.
day of muscular
Yeah.
positioning.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless I do Pilates 15 hours a day for 6 months, I don't think
No,
my
you
body's going to
stay
start learning it. But I'm going to
the
trust
position.
I'm going to trust the reformer. I'm going to trust all the weird little equipment that makes me feel like I'm disabled and needing to get into a pool. Like it all looks like equipment, physical therapy equipment. I'm going to trust it. And
It's
I'm
very
gonna,
Scientologist, isn't it? Like the reformer. It sounds like something
Yeah.
you have to like.
my instructor, thank God, doesn't make me do a weird thing. Like you have to get on the reformer and you have to like put your hands like a genie in front of you.
Yeah.
And then you have to stand with your Pilates stance and then lower. And she just lets me get on it. And I'm like, thank you for like not making me honor this machine or in any way. But I do have to clean it up every single time because I leave behind spray tan sweat. That's like orange sweat and people are confused. All right, we got to go to break. We'll talk about more stuff when we get back. After
More
this.
sweat.
Alrighty. Let's get to Reddit dump. This is your Reddit dump. Ugh. God, my voice really
Do you wanna
sucks.
you could
there.
re-record
It's a little Julie
I'm
there.
gonna read, because it's before my vocal cord surgery, and I would not have noticed. I like actually used to enjoy that before I got vocal cord surgery and started doing voice lessons. That is someone's voice who is in distress and trauma.
Oh no! So
That is a traumatic.
Let's
It's
re-record it.
Reddit dump.
We gotta redo it then.
We do. I'll redo it because that was not. It's just.
Do you still have that
makes me
microphone?
sad for
that
myself.
karaoke microphone?
Oh, I have 3 of those microphones now.
What?
Because-
the karaoke microphone?
Yeah, I love karaoke so much. And when you go to a karaoke room, they only have 1 or 2 mics, and one of them is usually shit. And
Or
so
it
it's usually
smells
one.
like breath.
Yes. So I have 3 of these that are boom as loud as a karaoke system, so multiple people can sing karaoke. Because if you know me, I like doing karaoke, but I like multiple people to sing with me, so I don't feel like I'm like getting too much attention and stealing the spotlight. Okay. Let's do one of the videos I sent you.
Okay.
Noah.
Can I do the one with the hat?
Yeah, I don't remember this one. It's been so long.
Okay, so this is you sent it to me. Actually, it's on Instagram. It's Hanna Dickinson.
Oh yeah, this was so funny.
Tonight I saw something very upsetting. I saw a girl holding onto a guy whose hat was like this.
It's like resting on top of her head like a ball cap. Like literally just sat.
Ladies, if a man cannot commit to a hat that's literally on top of his head, he probably is unable to commit to you.
This is genius.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
It's so daintily touching.
It's just so unnecessary. It's not even like it was daylight and he needed a melanoma shield. We were just like taking it off, taking a break. It was like he just fully went out like this for an evening.
It's so
And I
try
can't speak
hard.
to men because I don't understand how they think, but ladies, like, you deserve to be more than just another accessory that a man is unsure about. What are you doing?
Hans Dickey is her name. Hans Dickey, Dickie on Instagram. She's so funny. But that killed me. It reminded me of because she kind of like talks like you. And because she said melanoma hat, I liked that because you have a melasma hat, right?
Chris and I have our melasma hats.
Because melasma is like when your skin gets tinted.
Yeah, from the sun, you just get these like dark spots, and it takes forever to like buff them out of the skin. So we just have to wear these like gigantic brim melanoma hats.
Oh, so you can buff them out though? Like they eventually like shed with your epidermis?
If you're lucky.
Or are they like forever?
Yeah, like through a lot of what is it, like hydroquinone or something, like just a bunch of chemicals and lasers and stuff like that.
What about when have you done a spray tan? Do they light up on a spray tan? Because I have certain spots on my body that like capture a spray tan and hold it tight.
Ooh.
And the rest of my skin will not.
I've never tried a spray tan.
I think it's the same thing maybe. But yeah, that hat placement is so funny and so ridiculous. And the fact that a girl was like holding on to that guy is also a very funny image.
Yeah. Like, please.
And
any wind that thing would be
I
airborne.
always wonder, like, what
so
is that trend? It's like basically backwards hat, and the hat is not. It's just resting on the head, like what a top
not
hat
to
would
mess
do.
up the hair. But then why even wear it?
It's because they don't care. It's because they're so chill.
Yeah.
No, nobody's like that.
Yeah, that's the driver of the
They're
car.
like-
I don't care.
Yeah.
That guy does
the
care.
kind of.
And
Yes,
the
he
person
does
with the
care,
hat cares more than anyone
they care.
else. This is
They
ridiculous.
care.
Stop putting this
They
I
wanna
don't
look
care on
like-
these people. These people care more than anybody in the
No,
world.
we know. We're
they're
saying that they're
portraying.
trying to convince you they don't.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't
But
care. But
the
they-
I don't care person is also doing that.
But
The
Yeah,
person-
but it worked.
in order
I'm
to
just
keep
telling
that-
you it worked.
In order to keep that hat on his head like that in that perfect position is more difficult than
glued
wearing a
it.
hat normal. So he's got to spend all day making sure it stays on there like that. If it could get blown off, it could go down a little bit for God's sake.
But I feel the same way. And don't say this is not a racial thing. Because white guys do it too. But wearing your pants super baggy, where it looks uncomfortable, and you could not run and sprint.
Have you ever seen someone try to start running and then they kind of have to?
don't get it.
They kind of have to bow
It
legs.
looks
Sorry,
so
Brian.
uncomfortable.
And hold
But they
it
would
up.
probably say the same about us in high heels and like.
Yeah.
But high heels make
And, like,
you
purses.
look good. Like, what does that? Like high heels create an illusion that your calves are then locked in. Like your whole leg looks more muscular. You look taller, which gives you a more statuesque look, which will attract men, which will attract money, which will attract safety and protection. It's like an evolutionary thing to make your legs look longer and more like fertile or whatever. But why does a man's baggy pants make him look more attractive? There
Gotta
must
show
be
off the
something it's
trunks.
doing.
So he doesn't look fertile, so you don't think he's going to knock you up, but he is.
Oh, you think men are trying to undersell their virility?
Maybe.
Whoa, dude.
They're like,
never
it's
heard of
okay
that.
to just sleep with me randomly because.
But women's subconscious doesn't want to not get pregnant.
The
We
time
constantly
saver.
want to get
Yeah.
pregnant no matter what.
And it's the opposite of tight underwear, so you have more sperm. They're very loose, so you would think his sperm are fine because they're not being
I
suffocated.
don't think like our caveman brain is like that underwear is cutting off his semen sac or whatever.
No, but that is what it does.
Oh, maybe it does. It's so very interesting.
It saves
Okay,
time because his pants
supposedly.
are halfway off already. So
Yeah, for the poop
It's
that he will have to
efficient.
take.
Okay, I have to read this one because wait, Taylor I know would love this. Okay. This is from Too Afraid to Ask. Okay, this is someone on Reddit saying they're too afraid to
I
ask this
probably
question.
wrote this.
I think you probably did. Okay, the title is this literally sounds like you trolling.
Oh my god.
This is from Too Afraid to Ask. Okay. How can I stop seeing Jigsaw puppet in my crush's face? I did.
No,
did
you-
not. I have a crush on this girl. She's cute as a button, pretty face, bright smile, can sing, dance, act, and does brilliant accent imitations. What the fuck?
Wow.
Why would you add that to
That's
it?
weird to say.
This sounds like Kirsten, honestly.
Very
Like she
proud
can
of
sing,
her.
she can dance, she does imitations, she has a bright smile, she has a pretty face, she does Pilates.
Her butt is rock
She's
hard.
a class act. Oh yeah, she has a what is it? A brilliant derriere. What did a gorgeous, a perfect derriere? What did that old
She
man
can-
say to
I
Kirsten
don't-
about her butt? And we were like, oh, that actually is a nice way to compliment a butt.
She can open
Exquisite derriere.
a beer bottle with her butt cheeks.
Yeah, she's a class act and a crowd puller. What the fuck?
Ew.
And I always
Creepy.
wanted to get to know her better. But lately I noticed that her face resembles the Jigsaw puppet.
We got to see a picture
from the Canadian horror series Saw. Okay, why
Canadian?
I didn't know that until he put that in. And why is anyone going, which Saw?
I know.
The horror movie Saw, but which one?
And his name
Canadian
is
one.
Jigsaw?
Yes, that's the name of the guy that's like, I have a challenge.
I have something
I've never
for
seen
you.
Saw, but I read about it.
You're
The resemblance is so uncanny that her face is exactly shaped like it. Nice, rosy cheeks and a long chin with round eyes. I now inadvertently crack up when I see her, and she's noticed it multiple times, especially when she's singing. She tends to be very passionate and fixates her eyes on the roof level while using her beautiful expressions to elevate her performance. But she ends up looking like the puppet, and I can't control my laughter. Should I tell her she looks like the puppet just to get it out of my system? She might end up laughing and becoming self-aware. How do I unlearn the resemblance?
Oh my.
Okay,
Definitely
one time
don't tell her she looks like
he
the
says
puppet.
English is not his first language. So
Okay.
this is very
Okay.
clear through that.
Okay.
Okay.
And American is not his first culture.
Someone said, Christ, no,
She
please do not
elevates
tell a
her
woman
eyes.
she looks like the Jigsaw puppet.
One time you were referencing him and you said you called him the guy from Saw that does the challenges.
Yes, I hate that his name is Jigsaw because I say in my act, I say that when I get too much filler, I look like Jigsaw from Saw. But if you're a comedian, you know that you don't say the word before the word, like having too much of the word. So if his name was Jig, it would be funny, but his name is Jigsaw from Saw. So it's funnier to say the guy in the Saw movies who gives the challenges. But okay, have you ever this has happened to me before where someone like looks like something and it makes me laugh
Like every
all
day
the
of my
time.
life.
Really?
Dog Detective.
Yes. Wait, what's that from? Wait, what was that?
I've thought people have looked like a detective that was also a dog before, and I couldn't unsee it. And then
Wait, have you ever gotten the ick from like a partner though that you were like someone you were interested in and all of a sudden someone was like, they actually look like blah 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 and you're like, oh, I can't unsee it.
There's
Not
a
like a
Seinfeld episode
person.
about that where Jerry's dating someone that looks like Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Or no, George is dating someone that looks like Jerry.
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't
Yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah, that actually I just saved
Maybe I
a
haven't
thing
seen
last
one.
night, an article. Let me pull it up. I didn't
Trying
save
to
it in
think.
here. It says, oh, stop. Okay. It says people tend to be more attracted to opposite sex individuals who bear a resemblance to themselves, according to new research.
Mm-mm.
I watched Posh and Becks last night, and it's true. That's a great show, by the way.
About Posh Spice.
And David Beckham. It's not
Oh,
called Posh
it
and Becks.
sounds
It's called
good.
Beckham,
Isn't it?
and it's so good. Yes. It's great. He is an incredible athlete. I love sports documentaries, which is that, but is also a love story,
And
a codependency story.
he has OCD. Did
Oh,
they show that?
Big time.
Yes, I want to watch it.
Yes, he does. It's really good. Okay. So pretty much they tell him not to tell this woman that.
No, that would be
Brian,
the
have you ever
dumbest thing in the
thought-
world to do is to tell her she looks like a Jigsaw puppet, especially if he likes her. He's thinking that this is like, I think, a subtle neg. Like he thinks like, oh, now that I think this about her, she's less intimidating to me. Or maybe if I undercut her a little bit, then maybe
Yeah.
I'll have a chance with her. But really, he just
Right.
he's grasping here, and this is stupid. And he shouldn't pursue this avenue.
No, I will say when men
dark
send me
street.
people who I look like on Instagram, you will never have a chance with me. No matter how single and desperate and horny I ever get, if you've DM'd me a picture of a girl, it's not worth it. There's no one you can send me that will actually make me feel like it's either I think you're lying if she's hot, or
Yeah.
I think you're really, really mean if she's not. And so there's so many people that have just been like, man, this guy is trying his best to fuck me by saying like this girl, like they're just trying to like connect with you. And they found a way like this person looks like you. Never gonna work. It always is offensive.
And by going on
I'll-
Reddit and posting this, he's asking the Reddit community for permission. First of all, he's like excited about a girl he likes. So he wants to go on there and be like, I like
He
a
just wants
girl.
to talk
I
about
like
her.
a girl. She's so hot.
Mhm.
She's so hot. And maybe I'll get to talk to her and she's my friend. But then
She
also,
can sing and dance.
he
Her
wants
eyes go up
permission
to the heavens
he
when
wants
she
permission to
sings.
neg her. He's like, can the Reddit
Yeah.
community give me permission to call her a puppet?
Yeah.
It's so true. Like you're right, because then he has an excuse for if it backfires.
Yeah.
They told me I should. I asked, like, I don't know if he would say that to her if she got all upset. Like, I asked a community. Some guy just wrote to me on Instagram saying that he was bringing a friend to one of my shows coming up, and he said something to her that upset her, and now she won't go to the show anymore. And she's like, don't talk to me again, is pretty much what I got from it.
Oh.
And he's like, can you give me a meet and greet? Because maybe that'll persuade her to go. And I did, because I give anyone a meet and greet who asks, pretty much. But I'm getting to the point, to be honest with you guys, that I can't keep giving them out because I am so exhausted after shows, and I'm reaching a threshold. But that being said, if you hear this episode and you want a meet and greet, just go to the merch booth and ask Anya, and she'll probably give you one. But I did give him one. But I think this is the same scenario. I'm like, I bet this guy's friends with this girl. He got tickets to my show to be like, he likes her romantically. And he wants more with her. She's probably not interested. And he negged her. And she was like, nope, no thank you for that comment. I'm not talking to you anymore, because I've done that to guys before, where one guy called me white trash. He was like, oh, I could see how you have white trash in your family. And then one time we were at Subway, and this was literally 16 years ago, maybe more. And we were at Subway in line. Sorry, I keep burping under my breath. That's disgusting. I keep like trying to get away with it, and I did once, but I would thought one bestie is going to hear that. It's going to nauseate them. But
To say it was me.
we were at Subway, and he saw this hot girl walked in. He was like, oh my God, look at you if you tried. And he liked me so much. Yeah. And I started crying at Subway. And
Jesus.
it wouldn't be the last time I cried at Subway. And then another time I got off stage, and he was like, you have a really big forehead. Like, it's really long from like your eyes up
Is
to
he
your
autistic?
hairline.
That's the only excuse for that. Okay. Well,
Slightly autistic.
sometimes.
But it was also,
they
he
don't
would
know.
like punch me on the arm jokingly, and it started to get really hard the more that I would like be
getting
talking about
out
other guys.
aggression and anger at
Yes,
you,
yes.
resentment.
Totally. And it
Yeah.
would like bruise my arm. It was like really abusive. Okay. Next up.
What a guy.
This is also in Too Afraid to
You're
Ask. I'm friends
ugly
with
and
him now.
disgusting, and then he hits you, and that's what his plan
But he
is.
wanted me
Jeez.
so bad because he just didn't, like boys don't know what their emotions are.
No.
It's like
They
them
just like, they have
having
no,
a crush but being a bully.
yeah, they don't have anything where they stop and go, is this maybe rerouted anger for the fact that I can't
Yeah.
fuck her? Or am I actually angry at her? They don't examine, and not all men, but like, I think it's a very common thing. That's why there's road rage accidents with men.
Yeah.
Their anger like
Mm.
is much more propelled than ours, and much more unchecked, because they're not examining their motivations for
Mhm.
like why they do things. Final thought. Brian, when did you start going like, I wonder why I do these things? Like, is it a weird man thing where you just like, I think I've always been examining like, why am I the way I am? I think some men are just like, I'm just going to act because that's what I'm feeling like doing. And they don't ever go, let me stop and like think about where this could maybe be about something else than this thing.
Or like, that was embarrassing. Why did I do that?
Yes, I maybe need to apologize. That was like, I can take accountability. Like, when does that click in? And was it always in you to be that way? Because you're that way.
I think it was always in me, but after college, when I had my ball pain for 6 years, I just started to go to therapy and talk. I figure that stuff out, and then
And the ball pain was
Can
mental.
really make ball
The
pain
bu-
funny.
the ball pain was psychosomatic, pretty much.
Oh.
But yeah, I think after that, that'll force you to be introspective. But I think I've always been like that. I think it's because my parents got divorced, and I was always trying to figure out like, what is it that's going on here for real underneath it all. So I think that helps develop that. I think, some people maybe will never, there are definitely like people in the boomer generation who have never figured out any emotions at all for their
No.
entire life, and they just die angry.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I think it's also nowadays, like newer generations are way more aware of that. It feels like people are more emotionally
Oh
aware. It's
my
more accepted
God.
than it was back then.
I saw a video the other night, like talk about new generations of like little boys being raised to like feel things and have boundaries and like stick up for themselves and like not be scared to be like, I'm scared or whatever. There was this little boy, and his dad was holding a pumpkin and kind of going like, I'm gonna get you. And at first he was like really curious about the pumpkin. And then he just goes, no, that's too scary for me. And it was so cute. And the dad immediately stopped, but the kid like had a threshold and like let them know. And like, I feel like so many people would keep doing the scary thing. And like, this kid just like knew this is above my pay grade. I am not going to keep seeing this jack-o'-lantern getting closer to my face. I'm getting scared. And he was like aware of it. It was like, oh, I can't wait for this kid to be president. Like it just, I like that. And someone would be like, that kid's soft.
I can only handle like 10 seconds of the pumpkin. That's
mean,
enough. It's too big. Too scary.
David Beckham, speaking of like, So in the documentary, he pretty much loses England. He is what England thinks is responsible for losing their chance at the World Cup, which is the biggest thing that ever could happen in England. And so they're at the World Cup and he does this thing, and you'll see in the documentary, but he does this thing that he didn't need to do, and he gets a red card. That means he gets kicked out of the game. And because he gets kicked out of the game and he's their star player, they lose the match. And they all think like it's his fault. And honestly,
but he's the one that was going to win
Tom
it anyway.
Sandoval, they wanted him to die. They hung this. They were burning effigies. They were hanging effigies of him. Like they wanted his head. They spit on him in the street. He then went on to went back to his team, Manchester United, to play. And he went on for months. Every time he walked onto the field, they would boo. Anytime he'd get like kicked or like hurt, they would cheer. Like his own team fans. It was unreal. And he never once lashed out. Everywhere he went, paparazzi were screaming things. People would spit at him in the street. Like locals would get in his face and go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Because it's like
Who are these people?
Hooligans.
British people.
Honestly, because Chris, when I was watching it, he was like, one of my biggest fears is that England wins the World Cup ever in my lifetime. Like, I don't want them to win it. They're like, they colonize. They think they're better than everyone else. Like I go, what if we move to London? Will you root for them? He's like, I don't even think I could. He was like, I want a team that's like a South American team to win, like an underdog England. And then we go on to watch it and he goes, do you understand why I don't want England to ever win the World Cup? And I'm like, 100%.
Yeah.
What they did to David Beckham is so disgusting.
You want, like, humility.
It's kind of like the British
winners.
press with the royal family. The British press is disgusting, and the English people just seem to believe whatever they're fed by these people. And this is back in the 90s, so it maybe is a lot different now. I don't think it is because of what happened to Meghan Markle. But anyway, but he said like he never once lashed out at them, and every one of his teammates was like, I don't know how this guy survived it. Like he went for months of being just spat at. And his own matches where he would win and score goals, they would boo constantly. You fucking wanker! Fuck you, Beckham! Fuck you! Constantly when
Bloody
he's on
wanker.
the sidelines, when he's playing, and they want him to win. And it's like, Brian, I don't know if you know any of the history of this, because Chris didn't seem to be that well versed in this whole controversy, but this was wild. I've never seen anything like it. And they said the only reason because the documentary guy, who's actually one of the actors from Succession. What's his name? He plays the publicist. I forget his name. But anyway, he is the director of this film. And he asked Beckham, there's another burp, that, like, how do you think you survived it? And he said, my dad, how tough my dad was on me. So
that's why he has
but
OCD.
he also wouldn't have gotten to that point where people were like, wanting to hang him if his dad wasn't hard on him, because his mom was like, I just want him to have a childhood and like be a fun kid. And I was looking at Chris, because Chris and I were like, man, he is an amazing athlete. Like we're just like kind of marveling at all he's able to accomplish at such a young age. And then it gets in later in the documentary, it gets into how his dad made him practice.
I want to watch it right now.
If you want to be great, don't have a childhood.
Yeah.
You just have to be, if you want your kid to be the best at what they do, and we're not talking about like average levels of success, because you can have that, but in entertainment and sports, if you want to be the best, there's no anomalies. It truly is whoever doesn't have a childhood and just dances or shoots hoops or does free kicks over and over and over for 8 hours a day, rain or shine, no vacations, and no good jobs. That was great today. You did the best of everyone on the team. It's constantly, you could have done better. You did all right. We're going to work harder next time. Never praise them. Always make them feel horrible about what they're doing, like they're never enough. And you can create someone with, crippling, what just seems to be pretty bad OCD.
Well, you have to keep them in the practice zone. You have to keep them. If you push them too far out, they'll get so frustrated that they'll break.
Right. So they have to be like earning things enough.
It's a reach. They always got to be reaching, and they can never grab it. But it can't be so far away that it's like, this is impossible to grab.
And you can never say they're amazing.
No.
I would say, if I would raise a child and wanted to make her a pop star, I would absolutely say she's amazing, because I know that's what Taylor Swift's parents did. But you have to you have to sacrifice everything.
Did you ever watch the
I don't think it's
Queen's
worth it.
Gambit?
Yes.
I just watched that for the first time. I didn't see it
You
back.
got to play chess on the wall.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so she had that type of mentor, that the custodian who was just like, you're fine. You're fine. You're gonna have to do this now. Now this is gonna happen. And also, she had like the upbringing. And I watched that whole show this past week, and I was so excited about it. And I thought, this is so amazing. And I was like, I'm not gonna look anything up about Elizabeth Harmon. Because I don't want to know like what age she died and like what actually happened.
Right.
I don't want to spoil it. And then I look it up and it's like, she's not real.
Oh,
This
really?
show's not about a real
when you were
person.
saying that, I was like, I don't think this is based on a true person.
It's not, I was so disappointed because I was like, half the reason this was exciting to me.
Incredible story that this orphan gets trained by a janitor.
Yeah, and then wins and then beats the Russians.
I hope you never look up Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
I was so disappointed. I was like, so she's not dead because she was never alive?
I wonder where you went wrong to think that was a true story. And I like that the fact that you didn't look it up because you wanted to wait.
Yes.
Almost, it made you even more believe that it was a true story.
Yes. Like, what a triumph.
Yeah, that movie's really good. Or that series.
It's basically
really
a movie.
Good.
It's basically a movie.
Pretty much. It's when people want to make a really fucking long movie, they just break it up into episodes.
Yeah.
Morning show, losing its goddamn mind, y'all.
Oh, the morning show moment.
It's only getting worse. Yeah, it's only getting worse. That's all I'll say. I mean, there is a sing-along part in this next one, or in the latest one, that is just crazy. But Jennifer Aniston and John Hamm are hooking up now. I really feel uncomfortable with it because I know they're friends. And I would feel really weird, like, making out with my friend. And like having to roll around in bed if you were like, and he's married. I don't know. I would just, I'm usually not a prude about that stuff, but I was just like, I can just see this. Yeah. I just want her with Ross and no one else. They were on a break.
Ross isn't real either. Ross is a guy, as a character played by an actor.
Ross, can I say is real? Because I did an audition with Ross, David Schwimmer, and we had to act against each other. He was already cast in this role, and I was like, it was the closest I've ever gotten on a role. That was, it was for a pilot. But I had to do a scene where we were a couple that was fighting and all this, and he was so Ross off camera. He was so nice. I'll always love him. He is Ross. Juice, even in that OJ documentary thing, which is one of the best things I've ever watched. I need new stuff to watch, though. Any suggestions?
Oh, me too. Murder, please.
Golden Bachelor is amazing. Love it. He's getting rid of all the hot women.
Oh, wow.
He just wants a normal-looking woman with no face work. Yeah, he's old as shit, dude. He's 73.
Golden Bachelor. Oh.
73, and he looks good. And they had a pickleball tournament on the last episode.
Yeah.
And Chris, it's so funny watching it with Chris because pickleball comes on TV and he loves pickleball. And so he got very excited. And Gary is like, like, I love pickleball. Pickleball's a big part of my life. Like, whoever, wins this one is going to be with me playing. I'm trying to find his voice, but it's kind of like, I need to find someone to play pickleball with forever. Chris really does a really good impression of Gary. This is more like it. If I find a woman to play pickleball with me, I play it every day. This is a big day. And so Chris and I are realizing, like, whoever wins this and whoever's good at pickleball is, like, going to win. Because this guy, he's retired. All he wants to do is play pickleball.
He wants to win pickleball, too. He wants a partner that will win him the trophy.
He wants a loser partner.
One girl who is great at it. So anyway, whoever won this competition gets to be on the cut or, like, have a spread in Pickleball Magazine. And by the way, I didn't say in twice. In Pickleball Magazine is the name of the title of the magazine. So you could just tell every time they were announcing the prize. And whoever wins gets to do a spread in Pickleball Magazine. Like, you could tell the first time they were like, and gets to do a spread in Pickleball Magazine. And they were like, again, Jesse, it is in Pickleball. So
the magazine is called In Pickleball Magazine.
So they have to, say in Pickleball. In Pickleball. So the next issue of In Pickleball Magazine will have the Bachelors in it. And guess who will be getting that? Chris Convey. I got him a subscription to In Pickleball Magazine yesterday. I can't wait for it to arrive. So don't tell him. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to the show. I will be on tour this weekend in Milwaukee, in Iowa, in Lawrence, Kansas. And then next week, I am going to be in Boston, Baltimore, somewhere else. 2 shows in Boston. so many shows coming up. Can't wait for you to be there. I'll see you out there. And don't be kid. And just
Just in and pick a ball.
yeah.